Gamers and gentlefolk, hello and welcome back to the channel. Excited to be taking a look at the Heroic Division back from last week in week 4. We're going to be seeing Team Happy Cloud take on Can't Connect Stuns in a best of 3. THC, a little bit of background on them. They've added a new main roster player this season, Chrisinator. A player that is no stranger to NGS. I believe they're playing as a main roster player, at least. Strong player. I have had the pleasure of playing with him on a season. On the other side, conversely, Can't Connect Stuns have been totally stable in their roster since about season 16 was their last couple editions. So they've had 4 seasons to mesh well together, 16 through 19, or I guess this is their 4th season together, I should say. So I'm expecting that cleaner synergy from CCS to perhaps net them wins. Of course, I do not know the results of this series, so if you know them, don't tell me. We can all discover together, except for those of you who know. But we're hopping in a time machine, and that is exciting. Let's take a look at our battleground selection here as we prepare for Game 1. We had map bans onto Sky Temple and Towers of Doom for Team Happy Cloud, with CCS banning out Braxis and Battlefield of Eternity. So we're headed to Tomb of the Spider Queen for Game 1, a battleground heavily reliant on wave clear and clean, tight rotations. I always love seeing how our higher tier division teams kind of navigate and harass each other in these tight rotational battlegrounds. So we'll probably have an exciting game on our hands here. So let's get into it and take a look. We can introduce our teams here on the left in blue. We've got Team Happy Cloud, Drinking Bird on Chromie, Rob playing Anubarak, R275 Delta on Anduin, Nixus on Thrall, and Fade playing Zagara. And to the right, we've got Can't Connect Stuns, Eric on Junkrat, Shredded Wind on Rhaegar, Porky playing Diablo, Mockery on Tychus, and the Mainski playing Blaze. Alright, so we've got the Zerg Beetle synergy on the side of Team Happy Cloud. It's going to give them a lot of vision tools. That paired with the Chromie means they will likely have eyes on CCS most of the time, although Junkrat does have a lot of tools for clearing out Chromie time traps and such. Speaking of Chromie opting for deep breathing at level 1, that W quest. I believe they're looking for 40 connections? 20 connections, in fact. Outside of that, no other questing talents. Offlane Thrall, not the most common in the meta. Nixus looking to just beat up on the Blaze using their level 1 Rolling Thunder. That percent damage that Thrall gets access to right at the start of the game makes it very difficult for many of the more meta offlaners to step up and challenge the War Chief. Shredded Wind and Eric already taking care of the Bruiser camp. Team Happy Cloud just now getting to their own. We may see a gank here. Nixus playing pretty far out in lane. A great boop from Eric. Are they going to be able to chase down the Thrall? They will. First Blood going over to Can't Connect Stuns. Thrall definitely struggles into a collapse of that magnitude. And it's going to cost Team Happy Cloud a fair bit of experience here in bot lane. It's also going to open up the opportunity for CCS to grab the neutral siege camp. Checking in on our bruiser push in mid. THC grabbed their bruisers at a extraordinarily advantageous time. So they're able to mostly get a free clear of this CCS bruiser camp with the assistance of their towers. Siege camp, of course, was captured by CCS. Already gotten through most of that tower there on the bot side. Porky ganking once again. But THC are able to protect Thrall this time. The rotation down from most of them. On the top side, Fade has done a pretty good job spreading their creep out, but CCS is keeping on top of the creep clear. We're working on the time traps as well. A fair bit of CC onto Shredded Wind, but Porky steps up to threaten the Shadow Charge. Pretty sizable gem lead now on the side of CCS. Looks like they're trying to gank Nixus yet again. I think they all showed on the wave, so no dice there. Level 7's nearing for CCS. Oh my gosh, so much damage here onto Drinking Bird. Chromie's gonna fall. Shredded trying to save those gems from being recovered. Checking in on top side. Tyke's just pushing out waves, trying to kill Zerg, as is his wont. We've got level 7s now for CCS. Looks like a full W build, or at least to start with, here for Diablo. Mockery opting for Master Assassin at 14. Trap build for the Junkrat, with both Chattering Teeth and Sticky Wicket. The silence can be very punishing into heroes that depend on their buttons for survivability, so notably Anubarak, definitely on that list. Both teams have enough in their pockets to turn in. Rob's going to get 20 in down here on the bot side, which of course has left Delta mostly unattended here. CCS played it a little too close to the towers. They've taken really substantial damage there. Almost securing that Anduin takedown as well. Just 5 gems left for THC to turn in and secure the first objective phase. If they're able to free up Fade on the Zagara, speaking of, Porky just trying to shark around there, make the Zagara feel threatened. Checking in on the bot side, Nixus and Drinking Bird trying to shove Mainski off. There's the loop, level 8. Fair bit of damage here. Rob continues to cover. Porky looking for the Shadow Charge. They get the flip onto Nixus. There's no further CC. On the top side, Fade trying to get the turn in as well. Looks like it's not going to happen. But here on the bot side, oh my gosh, Drinking Bird gets another W. These stalls have been clutch. Mockery ends up getting the final turn in favor of can't connect stuns for the first objective phase, just before the 6-minute mark. We are nearing this heroic talent tier for CCS. We can see that's thanks largely to their minion and hero experience advantages. The mercenary experience doesn't hurt, of course. And it looks like playing towards the bot side once again. Nixus dismounts there. There's the flip. Another takedown onto the offlane Thrall. On the top side, though, Rob and Drinking Bird able to eliminate the Junkrat. 1 for 1 overall. The 4-hero commitment to bot lane means they're going to drop 2 lanes of experience, but they will secure their first structure in bot lane. Fort going down without much trouble at all. Mid, they were able to get through the full front wall. Top, I don't think they got any real damage to speak of. True. Zagara has opted for Bile Drop at 7. No stacks on it yet, but likely in anticipation for Corrosive Saliva at level 16. THC thinking about getting their bruisers out, but CCS still have enough gems in their pockets for a back-to-back turn-in. So they instead, on the side of THC, opt to check those turn-ins, make sure that they aren't losing the objective. Fade caught by Porky and Mockery here. Rob Burrow charges in. Porky has to drop the Soul Shield here. Delta not finding any with the Chastise. Another stun in onto the Zagara. Fade with the Light Bomb connects onto Eric. Lots of damage onto the Zag. They'll trade for the Diablo. Shredded Wind able to secure most of the gems there. Of course, Diablo is back on the battleground already thanks to his Soul Stone. What other heroics? Anything out of the ordinary? Nothing too out of the ordinary at all. We saw Lightning Breath, which is pretty typical with W build. Porky finds Delta here. There's a temporal loop. Lots of damage getting thrown in, but it's Anduin who will fall. Takedowns now 5-2 in favor of Can't Connect Stuns. So a much more successful first objective phase for the side of CCS. They've got more wave clear spread across their team, both in the off lane and on both of their DPS, and their support, frankly. You know, Rhaegar, probably one of the best supports for wave clear. Mainsky and Mockery getting their gems turned in here on the bot side, and that will secure the next objective phase for CCS. Siege Camp in bot lane has already pushed the minions pretty far back for CCS. THC are going to have a lot of lane pressure down there, and it frees CCS up to be grouped up here with all 5 of them between the top and mid lane. Three heroes committed here to the mid fort. It's not going to last long. Quick impale from Rob. Trying to fish for and slow down the siege. Fade doing a decent job to defend the Webweaver here. An excellent use of the Bile Drop. Keeps them out of danger. Getting the dismount there onto Diablo. Got level 13s online from both sides. Delta opting for Lions, or Enchant Boots. Oh, Nixus, the target once again by CCS. Brawl unlikely to survive this. A 3-way body block. They'll pop the Sundering. They still have the root as well, and there's the leap of faith from Delta. Porky standing still and popping the spell shield. Completely unafraid. Oh my god, another set of CC onto Nixus. And there's the light bomb, lands onto Blaze. Lots of heroics thrown back and forth. Rob gets another set of stuns. Porky draws the Ancestral Healing. And all sides make it out alive. Mockery popping the Commandeer Odin there. With the waves pushed in as far as they are into THC's base, it's going to be very difficult for CCS to collect the 5 gems they need for the next turn in. They, of course, are rounding the next talent tier as well. So 16's a pretty decent spike for Diablo, as well as Rhaegar, with Earthgrasp Totem coming online. Damage reduction and additional CC from Diablo with debilitating flame at 16. Chromie has unlocked her level 16 talent tier, of course, thanks to her trait. Just 3 more gems need to get banked. Oof, Anubarak and Thrall both holding on to 50 and 37 respectively. It is a tough go of it when your frontliners are holding on to that much wealth. It becomes very difficult for them to get aggressive and set up those engagements as they would like to do in team fights. We've got level 16s on both sides. Percent damage online for Thrall, thanks to Alpha Wolf and Zagara with Corrosive Saliva, so they're going to be able to chew through this Diablo Blaze frontline a little bit better now. Commandeer Odin popped for Siege. Porky thinking about getting the Shadow Charge. They opt for Rob. Oh, a bit of a miscommunication there. Burrow charging out with the Light Bomb enabled. Loop onto Diablo once again. There's the cleanse. Shredded Wind falling very low. Nixus hits the Sundering, but it's going to draw the Ancestral Healing. Midkeep down to about 50% HP. Can't connect stuns. Trying to get as much out of this objective phase as possible. Rob stunned, and then there's the silence as well. Delta using one of their Leap of Faith charges to get those 53 gems out of harm's way. And Midkeep lives, but it was all sleight of hand. Bit of misdirection. The massive minion wave in top was what CCS wanted to buy time for, and in doing so they've secured top keep. Almost a level and a half lead now for CCS. It's thanks largely to their takedowns, mercenaries, and of course passive XP. Structures don't hurt either. As it turns out, when you're ahead, you're ahead. 127 gems in the pockets of Team Happy Cloud. Team Happy Cloud definitely wants to drop these off as soon as they can. It's tricky though. Rob, understanding that CCS are out of vision, chooses not to engage onto the Tychus. There's the cleanse, and a great loop onto Shredded Wind. The Ancestral goes off, double loop, and they'll secure the takedown. An Unstoppable won't save Fade, however. Nixus trying to get through the HP pool of Diablo, but they're falling low, as is Rob. One more stun will take out the Anubarak. That is 60 gems, a little bit more than. Porky continuing to get these body blocks and slows. Delta will fall as well. Drinking Bird, one of the heroes you would like to have alive for the anti-siege, but CCS aren't going to play too aggressively. Porky has to Hellgate out after getting rooted under the keep aggro. And in spite of losing 60 some odd gems, I guess 20 something with the Zagara kill as well, a lot of gems. THC still have enough for the next payment. Just goes to show how difficult it can be on Tomb of the Spider Queen to secure the objective when you are at a wave clear deficit compared to your enemy team. Tychus, Junkrat, Blaze, Rhaegar, all bringing excellent wave clear. Porky alone finds Drinking Bird, continues to get the slows here. There's the stun in, double loop, Bunker will save them. Nixus body blocked here. Porky onto Delta. There's the Lightning Breath onto 2. Drinking Bird very low. Double Ancestral will proc 3 Caught in the Maw. Fade trying to get the rest of Team Happy Cloud out of danger. And they'll do it. Porky really understanding that with the Storm Talent tier, as well as the level 16 Debilitating Flame, going on the Chromie before the rest of CCS were in range was totally safe to do. They've got a lot of lockdown with their strong body block size and the, I think, up to 50% slow on Debilitating Flame. It can't be that slow. How slow is Debilitating Flame? Up to 60%. Okay, never mind. They really do get super slow. Especially when you combine that with the Flame Stomp resets at level 7. Alright, boss coming in for CCS. THC have summoned their objective to try and stave off this push. CCS stepping up here. Porky Hellgate's in. The main ski Jet Propulsion's in as well. Junkrat falls. Core still has its shielding. Boss down to about 50% HP here. Nixus would love another takedown, but in the end, it looks like they're going to make it out. Boss gets through the shielding now and about 50% of the core HP before it falls. A little bit less than. There's Lightning Breath onto Delta. Oh, there's the connect from Mainski onto the Anduin, but they're able to take down the Blaze. Shredded has already used Ancestral. Porky finds another Shadow Charge for the escape. All of these debilitating Flame Stomps keeping THC from getting the chase that they want. Fade on Zagara having to fall back to deal with the catapult there. Rob chased down and taken out. With Tychus in the mix, CCS still have a lot of kill threat available to them. So the objective phase does stave off the game-ending push from CCS. Team Happy Cloud also picked up forts in mid and bot lane during the objective phase. So not the worst go of it for them. Of course, their Storm Talent tier came online a while ago now. Anything out of the ordinary. Nothing that we wouldn't expect. Rewind, Inner Fire. Porky finds Fade. There's the stun. Oh my gosh, no connection on the Light Bomb. Nixus onto Mockery here, almost gets the takedown. And there's the Hellgate out. Okay. 2 catapults in top lane. CCS want to keep THC here and fighting, if they can. Shredded finds Drinking Bird. There's the quest complete on Bile Drop. Fade has to pop the Devouring Maw. Rob parthing back to deal with those catapults. And they get the soul reset onto Porky. Nixus finds one with the root, but Bunker's there to save the friends from any trouble. Nixus taking so much damage. Drinking Bird in deep. That's going to be a takedown. Mockery in onto Rob here. Ancestral goes off. Porky's in range. Finds a stun onto Nixus. Nixus gets pulled out. Rob and Fade on the retreat. Mainski looking for one more shadow, or here comes the Shadow Charge from Porky? Guess not. Looking for Rob, perhaps? Jet Propulsion onto the Bug. Mockery chases them down. Nixus and Delta, the last 2 alive for THC. I don't think they've got any likelihood of making this defense. Nixus lives just a little bit longer, but Tychus is connected with the core, and that is the only thing that Tychus wants, and it's disgusting. And that'll do it. Game 1 in the books, going in favor of CCS. Well played to the red team. Okie dokie. We can take a look at our post-game stats here. Oh, gotta hit the stats. There we go. Anything out of the ordinary. Chromie, top damage, But of course, the takedowns heavily favoring CCS there, 14-6. Perhaps a little bit more effective hero damage coming out of the Tychus pick, participating in 11 takedowns as opposed to the 6 from Drinking Bird. And we can show our builds as well. A lot of quest progress on Piercing Light at 7. Definitely not what I was expecting. But they were able to get a fair bit of spell power there. File Drop was completed, of course, and Master Assassin nearing completion. 11 out of the 15 required there. Yeah, I think it largely comes down to that wave clear deficit that I kept harping on. The wave clear from CCS was on the oppressive side, as were their objective stalls in the form of Junkrat and Tychus with quarterback. So, game 1 goes in favor of the red team. Let me update the scoreboard here and see where we're going to head for game number 2. All right, game 2, we're headed to Infernal Shrines. We, of course, don't have any first pick, map pick data, so it's anyone's guess. But it doesn't really matter, since we're not going to get to see the draft. Let me make sure I can get this replay queued up and make sure that both teams are on the correct side of the battleground. For anyone who tuned in midway through Game 1, welcome. Happy to have you. We're taking a look back at Week 4. This is a replay broadcast of Can't Connect Stuns against Team Happy Cloud from last week. I don't know the results. Don't tell me. All right. Looks like we are good to go on the replay. So let's get into Game 2 and see if Team Happy Cloud can bring it to a full 3-game series, or if CCS were able to secure their domination. Introducing our teams once again. Here on the left, we've got Team Happy Cloud, Drinking Bird on Imperius, Delta playing Rhaegar, Rob on Blaze, Chrysinator on Junkrat, and Fade playing Maiev. And to the right in red, what in the world do we have here? Shredded Wind on Oriel, Eric playing Gaul, the Mainsky on Dahaka, Porky playing Cho, and Mockery on Tracer. A Cho Gaul game in the heroic division of the Nexus Gaming Series. Love to see it. Keep moving from Gaul, so increased movement speed of Shove. And the Will of, or Calloused Hide for Cho. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. They've got percent damage at level 1 from Drinking Bird, Burden the Impure for Imperius. Fade looking for a blink in. There's the spear onto 2. Maiev falling quite low here. Gets the pull in onto Cimeric. And there we see the keep moving move speed. So it's main tank Imperius. Interesting, interesting. Mockery getting as much free harass as they can on the Tracer. Chrysinator caught very low here. Hooping themselves to safety over the wall. Delta is the one isolated now, and Mockery will chase him down for the first takedown. First Blood, once again, going over to CCS. You know, the Cho'Gall bound to happen with the Oriel buffs being what they are. CCS gets the boop. Oh, but a little bit of anti-synergy there with the Umbral Bind. Spear in onto Shredded Wind, but they're able to take down Drinking Bird. In full retreat, however, CCS are looking like they're in trouble. Cimeric gets out with sub 50 HP. I think they were down to 15 HP before those takedowns went through. Oh no. Alright, 2 to 2 in takedowns. 'Tis a silly place, the Nexus. Speedy to Haka at level 1. Level 4s on both sides. Mockery, the target. They've got all the blink charges they need. Kind of a signature hero for Mockery. What else do we have at level 4? Nothing out of the ordinary here. Press the advantage from Drinking Bird. Not what I am accustomed to seeing from a main tank Imperius. A well-timed Bruiser camp in top lane. Oh, Rob getting rotated in on. Fade gets a couple resets here on their Phantom Knives. Cimmerek once again caught in the Umbral Bind, but they're able to wait it out. Fade falling low here. Rob peels with the Jet Propulsion. Mockery looks to chase down that takedown. Shredded Wind booped over the wall. And in the end, Team Happy Cloud are able to secure all 3 siege camps on the bot side of the battleground. First objective has been announced. CCS already getting busy taking care of this Mortar Punisher. Team Happy Cloud a little too low to get back into this objective fight. Seems like neither team is willing to commit too heavily. Only sending 3 heroes on both sides. Or 2, depending on how you want to count Cho'Gall. Here comes the collapse from THC. CCS playing it very safe. They've got a tidy lead on the Shrine. That Eye of whatever it is. Oh, huge Jet Propulsion lands onto 2. Mainsky falling low here. But Rob, in fact, is the main target for CCS. Speaking of CCS, they're going to secure this first objective. Got there right on time, and so they were able to secure, I believe, up to 14 skulls before THC even made the rotation in. Personator drew aggro there. A pretty tough hero to have John Cena wailing on. Alright. Punisher gets through most of the fort. Shredded Wind draws aggro here. Looks like CCS want to stick around and try and finish off this fort as much as they can. Personator and Rob both have a lot of anti-siege tools at their disposal, but Cho, I should say Gall, really, is an excellent hero for sieging buildings down. The damage over time from the consuming blaze of Cho ends up taking down the blaze. It is just a free-for-all here in mid. CCS just around the corner from the heroic talent tier, and there you have it. Crystal Aegis, of course. Will of Cho. No. Hammer of Twilight. Yes. Locked and Loaded at 7. Repeated Offense at 4 for Shredded Wind. They popped the Shifting Nether. I don't know if that was necessary to secure the Maiev kill, but who cares? No kill like overkill. So with that takedown and the siege camp at their back, CCS are going to secure the second fort of the game. THC have equalized talent tiers here. Okay. Angelic armaments, what I would typically expect from a main tank Imperius. Drinking Bird opting instead for Wrath of the Angiris. Shredded Wind gets the interrupt there. Short cooldown for the Kidnap. Pulse Bomb lands directly onto Junkrat. Another takedown in favor of CCS. It's 4v4 here in bot lane. Mockery able to apply a lot of safe pressure here. Mainsky not even bothering to get the rotation in, instead content to keep pushing here in top lane. Already gotten through most of the fort front wall. Next objective will be spawning in bot lane. What do we have? Arcane Punisher is up next. Mockery trying to get as much free siege damage and try and bait THC into attacking the very survivable, maneuverable Tracer. And once again, CCS are going to have camps pushing in their favor as well. So with Dahaka's Brush Stalker available and a camp, THC are kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Either willing to sacrifice their top fort in favor of the objective. Mockery found by Drinking Bird's Spear. Celestial Charge. Can't keep Tracer penned in for long, however. Team Happy Cloud are going to try and get the fight here on the objective. Mainsky can Brush Stalk in. Drinking Bird finds Shredded with the Wrath of the Angiris, but now they're booped under towers. Shifting Nether finds 2, Drinking Bird falling low. Delta into the bunker. They've already used Ancestral. Rob gets the jet propulsion onto 2. Mockery will chase them down. Delta running the wrong way towards CCS's base. Fade likely to get chased down here by Mockery. Mockery gonna keep the pressure up onto Drinking Bird now. There's the Pulse Bomb. And alright. Rhaegar was correct to run towards the base of CCS. Delta the only one to survive. Personator, of course, got out of dodge pretty quickly with the rocket ride. Oh my goodness, a great cleanse from Delta to stop the Surging Fist from interrupting the Junkrat boop. Concussion Mine is what it's called. Arcane Punisher. 5 hero commitment here. I'm sorry, not even. Mockery continuing to side soak on Tracer. I think it makes a lot of sense. CCS want to keep their comp scaling up. They only get stronger come level 16. Pulse Bomb lands onto Drinking Bird. Mainsky falling very low, but they're able to burrow underground and pop the Essence. Tanky Dahaka will live to fight another day. Mockery caught a little too deep with the fort aggro and minus armor. Is this the turnaround that THC need? They'd love to be able to catch this Cho'Gall, but instead the offensive purge spent onto Shredded Wind. Cimeric run away. Valiantly run away, in fact. Just like Sir Robin? We've already made at least one Monty Python reference, so why not do a second? Top fort gonna survive this wave, it looks like. Chrisinator, found by Cimeric, they are able to boop themselves back into safety, but Delta is gonna have to... Oh. Looks like Delta does not have to spend their heroic. Instead, Chrisinator able to escape using the rocket ride. Quirky almost getting the interrupt there on that cast thanks to the stun from Twilight Hammer. This is a huge power spike for Cho'Gall at 16. They've got Leaden Orb now. Topside, Mainsky goes down, but CCS doesn't care. They're taking keeps. Personator in a lot of trouble here. Mockery gonna chase him down. They don't have another rocket ride to escape this time, but Ripper Air will get them to safety. Fade looking for the containment disc, does not connect. But we've got talent tier parity. Drinking Bird continuing in on the Celestial Charge build, going for the Celestial Swiftness at 16. Chrisinator takes a bad boop. Mockery chasing them down here. Chrisinator tries to chase further with the Ripper Air. Oh, thank you for the follow, Adam Grimm. Appreciate it. Chrisinator trying to bait Mockery into a bad position here. Tracer still very healthy. Still has plenty of blink charges. Next objective here in mid, it's a Mortar Punisher, or I'm sorry, it's a Frozen Punisher. Maybe they go for another Dahaka tank, gank onto the main ski. Mockery securing a little bit of vision here. Main ski looking for the drag onto Drinking Bird. Able to Celestial Stab. Oh, Fade has to get the Ancestral. Mockery, two different forms of Mega Slow. Chrisinator gets Surging Fisted. Oh, and Rob falling low. They're in the bunker, but they won't survive for long. A great drag from Mainski. They're gonna secure it with one more blink from Tracer. Looks like they won't. On the top side, Maev went down to Cimeric, Porky, and Eric. The other piece, of course. Earthgrasp Totem looked like it was going to get a lot of value in that game, but unfortunately, CCS are able to burst through any of the protection that THC have available to them and get onto the Junkrat. And if you lose a hero that early in the fight, it is tough to win. A lot of damage onto Cimeric. Already drawing the Crystal Aegis. Got a fair bit of healing between both Oriel and themselves. Oriel did opt for Reservoir of Hope at 16, and they're just about to secure their Storm talents. Ooh, a mistiming on the Celestial Charge. Shredded wins the target. We've got catapults connected onto the core of THC, and Mockery in the back line, unfettered, finds a lot of damage onto Rob. Shifting Nether paired with the Twisting Nether. Oh, Chrisinator stunned out of the Rocket Ride. Rob very low. Mockery trying to stop the Rhaegar from returning. The catapults have not been dealt with. They've already got through 31% of the core. Oh, there's the interrupt. Chrisinator won't be able to rocket ride to safety this time around. John Cena has arrived. The core shielding's still down, and this is likely to be game 2 in the bag for CCS. They're looking to pad stats a little bit, get another takedown onto Rob. Cimeric will secure it. It was Gaul this time rather than Cho. And that'll do it for Game 2. GG and well played to the away team. 2-0 last week. Well played by them. And we can take a look at our post-game stats. Anything out of the ordinary? Nothing too out of the ordinary. Not what you'd want. I assume the Cho'Gall was late picked, and they didn't respect that Oriel had been chosen already, and Oriel Cho'Gall's pretty strong. Mockery on Tracer, pretty strong. Top hero damage of the lobby, far and away. Taking a look at our builds. Drinking Bird opting for the Celestial Charge build. The damage reduction at 13 from Pathetic Mortal? Yeah, Pathetic Mortals. Helps a little bit with the Cho'Gall, certainly, but it doesn't stop Cho'Gall from being able to perma-stun your team post-16. So it was a rough one for the side of THC. All right, that went pretty quickly. We can do another broadcast. I already have a couple replays claimed here, but Infofox, who is here in chat, has also mentioned that they've got replays from a game. Anyway, we'll finish up this series before we worry about our next one. In the end, it was a clean 2-0 last week in favor of CCS. Let's update the scoreboard to reflect that. And they did it in style with a Cho'Gall comp. Oriole, strong in and of herself, but when paired with those late-game scaling heroes, even if THC had managed to secure an early game lead, can't connect stuns, were in position to bring it back. Tracer, Oriole, and Cho'Gall all scaling very well into the late game. So that'll do it for the first series. I'm going to roll credits here so the YouTube video is clean. Everyone say hi to YouTube. And I'll be back with another series shortly. Thank you very much.